Hi there, this is Christine. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I want to show you the first class alternate card that I've made for my subscribers this month. So it's the Sending Good Thoughts Paper Pumpkin Kit, July. And you've got the Bermuda Bay ink spot. I'm going to use the ink pad, but the ink spot is available. We need our stamp set for this one. And that's it. Oh, and your linen thread. You'll need some of that to make this card too. And that's it. So I'll put that away. Now, in your class envelope, so we're starting with this envelope here. So you've got some thick white, which is 11 by 4 1/4 and is scored at 5 1/2. I'm gonna fold that and put it aside since we don't need it right away. Yeah, trying to get a straight fold here. Here we go. All right, so we've got that. Then we've got a Bermuda Bay layer. I love that Stampin' Up! Has coordinating paper and ink and ribbons and embellishments and all of that stuff. Then we've got basic white, just regular white. You've got a vellum stamped bottle, punched bottle, and a white one. So I did those with the vintage bottle punch, which coordinates with this kit. And you've got a piece of what color is this? Crumb cake. Just a little stripe. So you're going to use this for the first card that we're making now and the next one as well. So keep that handy. And of course your envelope. So I'll show you the card we're making. So this is a simple one. I wanted to, put to use our materials from the kit when you're done with the kit, supplies. When you've got your stamp set left and probably some ink spot, dimensionals and some glue dots and a bit of ribbon. The rest of it is just the ink really. So that's the card we're making. I'll put it up here. So yes, you will need some glue dots. Excuse my reach while I grab those, I forgot. And of course dimensionals. And I'll keep the dimensionals handy too. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is stamp that scroll inside a bottle. So we're going to stamp it on the white. And the reason for that is you can't really stamp on vellum with regular ink. It takes hours to dry because vellum isn't porous. So the ink just sits there until it dries, which, like I said, is not ideal. So I'm just inking that up. I love this little scroll. He's the coolest. There we go. If you're hearing some squeaking over here, it's just my Simply Chamois that I'm using to clean off my stamps. Then we'll set him aside and we can stamp our card. So before I get started, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper. And the reason for that is, see here where I've got lighter intensity, that's because I stamped off. And so I'm just gonna do my stamping on a scrap sheet so that I have somewhere to stamp off if I want to. Now let's start with our stars. No, we'll start with our texture. I think it's meant to be kind of like sand. So I kind of put that here and there. And if you wanted to kind of have a different look, you can move it around so that it's not as obvious that it's the same stamp over and over. Or you can stick your fingers in it. Oops. Turn this one. I think that's probably enough. You can always go back and add more if you choose to. Now let's do our sea stars. And I'm going to put some in the corner too. And you can play around with this in any way you like. Add more of the things or less of the things. So now I'm going in with my seaweed. And I want to put a fair amount of seaweed because that's going to be kind of the background for our bottle. And if we don't put enough, there won't be much to offset it. So I've stamped, and now I'm stamping again without re-inking to kind of have that depth with the seaweed. Makes it look like there's some in the background too. And I'm just going to put there. I think that'll be enough seaweed. Now let's do, I'm going to put the bottle down before I do my seahorses, just to have a better idea of where to place them. So we'll set this aside for now and let's assemble our bottle. So we've got our stamped piece and we've got our vellum. So it just makes it kind of look like it's in a jar. I'm going to use glue dots, and I find that, I mean, I can see them a little bit, but not too much. So I'm putting them on the parts that have been stamped. And I'm just putting 2. I call these dreaded glue dots because they don't like me. There we go. So I just want to line that up so that it looks like it's just one piece. There we go. Now, this is our cork. So I'm going to put, you can put a glue dot or a teeny bit of glue on the end. Just a teeny bit. And I'm going to sandwich this between the layers. There. Like so. And you don't need a lot of cork sticking out, right? You just need enough to show that it's there. So I'm just going to cut off the excess. And, you know, if you want to be fancy with it and do some nice rounded edges on it or anything, you can. I'm keeping it simple. Then we're going to put some linen thread around that because it's fun. But there's no bow this time. So I'm just going to hold that in place and wrap it around a couple of times. So this is my linen thread spool, the one that you can buy from the Stampin' Up! Website, but it's the same as what's in the paper pumpkin kit. I'm just gonna save the other one. Oh, for the love of God. This is so much easier to do when there's somebody else in the room. It's kind of like gift wrapping. And I don't want to use my teeth on screen. There we go. So we've got our knot. So I'm just going to cut the edges. Got a little more than we need here. So there we go. So that's that. Now I'm going to put this on dimensionals. See if I can, there we go. Here they are. So I think that's good. Now we want some seahorses because they're adorable. And last but not least, we need a sentiment. So you can really put anything you like on there. I do like the sending good thoughts as a nice encouraging sentiment. There we go. So the last thing there is to do is assemble our card, and since there's very little to this card, it's very quick and easy to do. I'll set that up here. I'm going to see which side looks more even. We'll go with this side. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of my first layer, which is Bermuda Bay paper cardstock. So the cardstocks are sold in packs of 24, so that can last quite a long time. You can use it for card bases, it's rigid enough for that, or you can use it for layers. There we go. And then I'm just going to put some glue behind this layer and put it centered on top of the Bermuda Bay. So I always like to give you ideas of what you can do with your stamp set once your kit is completed, because these are such lovely stamp sets. It's nice to get ideas on how to keep using them. So that is our first card. So I'm going to stop the video here and we will make the second card in a separate video. So thank you for watching and let me know if you have any questions.